Hiya, it's Michelle here from Robin's Hobby Cafe. So here at Robin's we are big into our needle felting, absolutely love it. Before lockdown we would have ran quite a lot of workshops here all the time. We would have done a lot of community workshops under the banner of Never Felt Better, promoting needle felting and crafting for good mental health. We would have done a lot of one-to-ones with people. So we used to have a lot of people coming in here who maybe bought kits, opened them up, read the instructions, felt a little bit intimidated, really didn't know what to do with them until they sat down and they realised how easy it was. So a lot of our beginners workshops, we would use core wool to make the core structure of it. But a lot of, if you're making animals or people, would have limbs. Sometimes that kind of throws people a little bit. So some of our beginners felties that we have made have been like little Groots with his little limbs there. So he's actually he's made of wool completely, apart from these little bits, and they're made from wire. Again, our little Daenerys, totally made from wool, apart from her little arms. And again, our little Pikachu with his little sausage arms. These would have been little pipe cleaners inside. So I'm going to give you a few hints and tips to make sure you have perfect armatures every time. So when wrapping wool, a common mistake people would have made would be just to twist it and wrap it like that. While this is okay and it kind of covers, if you look, you will see that your wool is quite twisted, so it's very hard to get even coverage. So what we want to do, I'm just going to untwist this, and you can see this is quite twisted now, so I'm going to take this off. So we want to get a strand of wool, and we want to start. So if we would imagine this is a hand and an arm, we want to start just wrapping. So I'm keeping this quite flat, just between my index finger and thumb, and I'm turning the wire and I'm keeping this flat. So I'm not turning it, I'm not twisting it, I'm actually keeping the wool really flat, and I'm just turning it around like this. Okay, so when doing an arm, I do this little bit, I have a bit poking out the end, and there's a reason for this. So we would bend this around, and this would make the end, and it means we don't see any wire here at all. So again, keeping this quite flat in my fingers and just feeding it round, twisting the pipe cleaner. So I have wrapped it all the way to the end, and you can see that it's still a little bit uneven, but the wool has went on quite smoothly. So we just want to smooth that out and make the wool equal along the length of it. A wee trick that I would use to do it is a little bit of soap in a little bit of lukewarm water, and we just want to dab it on it. So as you know, what we've been doing is needle felting, sometimes called dry felting. There's also wet felting. So this is a little element of the wet felting. So you would use bubble wrap and friction in wet felting as opposed to the needle with the barbs. So what we want to do is just make it a little bit wet with the soap, and we just want to rub this between our palms. So you can see this is almost completely smooth and even just by doing that. And it's almost dry because I didn't really put that much water on it. But if it is a wee bit wet, you could just damp it off with a little paper towel. But that is how we would get perfectly straight limbs. You can make this thicker, so you could make this quite thick if you want. I put one layer on there, you could make it as thick as you want. This tip still works. Guys, I hope you find this useful. If you want to follow any more of our videos, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks very much.